Murder! Mayhem at Marlford Manor.
Uncle Basil, what happened? Did someone really get killed?
Not yet, my dear, but it's only a matter of time. And you may be just the pair to root out the killer.
I don't think so, Uncle Basil. Murder's way out of our league. That's a case for Scotland Yard.
Not this murder, Jennifer. It's Lady Saltcoat's annual murder mystery weekend at Marlford Manor. I just got my invitation and script, and a special note inviting you as well.
Cool, I've never been in on one of these. I hear they're really neat. With all our experience, I bet we can beat all the other guests to the solution. What do you think? Let's go. Marlford Manor is outside of London, so we'll need to hop on the train to get there. To get to Marlford Manor, we take the train to Brighton on the coast. Does that train go north or south? Let's look at our map of England and see. See if you can find Brighton on your right. A train going south will take us to Marlford Manor.
Oh, huzzah! I'm so thrilled you all could make it. Won't this be fun? Now you've read your script, haven't you, Basil? You're not to let me down, you know.
Edna, would I ever? I'm completely prepared to play my part.
Oh, I do hope everyone else is as well. You see, we've all got parts to play, and everyone is a suspect, except Julia and myself, of course. It will be your task to figure out who killed poor old Count von Coburg. Whenever you're ready, just have a quick word with me, and I'll explain all the details. All right now, the rules are simple. You may interview the suspects and the witnesses all you like and examine the manor from top to bottom. All the clues you need are right here at Marlford, so keep a sharp eye out. We already know the method of the murder. The Count was frightened to death with a horrid little mouse. You must discover which suspect has a motive, an opportunity, and some clues that link them to the crime. A motive is a reason to commit a crime, like revenge, greed, or jealousy. Opportunity means that the suspect had the time and ability to commit the crime. For example, if Lady Chiswick had been locked in the coal bin at the time the Count was killed, you would say that she did not have the opportunity or the chance to commit the murder. Clues that link the suspect to the crime are also very important. It could be a handkerchief dropped at the scene, a smudge of green ink on a sleeve, or any special clue that might point someone out as a killer. All set then? Oh, wonderful. On with the show. When you're ready to interview me, I'll come out to the garden with you.
Look, a scrawled note on the writing tablet near Count von Coburg's hand. He must have written it himself as he was having his heart attack. I bet he was trying to tell us who the murderer was.
Good show. That's the big clue I've left you in my death scene.
Thanks, Corpse. It's a symbol in the shape of a cross or X. That must have some connection to whoever murdered the Count. Let's keep our eyes peeled for any crosses or X's. Look! Count von Coburg is lying out cold on the floor. He must be the murder victim.
That's right. I've been ruthlessly murdered.
Gunther, shh! You're meant to be dead. Now hush, I'll tell them. Gunther's been ruthlessly murdered by one of my guests or household. It could be your Uncle Basil, Lord Chiswick, Lady Chiswick, or my butler, Rutherford. Any one of them had the motive. What you must decide is who had the opportunity.
Well, what happened? Was he shot, hit over the head with a monkey wrench, poisoned?
Here at Marlford? Never. What a perfectly dreadful thought. No, I'm afraid it appears that the Count was frightened to death. Oh, well, I know it sounds unlikely, but frankly, my dears, I just couldn't bear the thought of any violence, not even play-acted. So our beloved Count was ruthlessly frightened to death by some mouse-wielding assailant.
I've got this dread fear of the mice, you see, and a bad ticker. Once I know the whiskers, I'm kaput. I'm dead as the door's nail.
Gunther, please.
All right, I'm dead.
Look, the clock has stopped at 4:05 exactly. That tells us what time the clock was knocked down.
Aha! You're ready to begin your interviews. Give me a moment to get into character now. There. I am now the wealthy and unscrupulous big game hunter, Basil Hawke. It's true, I never liked the Count. Never got over that incident in Africa, when the rotter shot my pet warthog Spotty. But frighten him to death? Never. I'm not the only one with a distaste for the Count. Ask Lady Chiswick. She told me herself that she hates the man with a passion. As we played croquet in the garden this morning, she told me how he cheated her out of fame and fortune. It appears that both of them were once competitors in the All-Britain Bake-Off, and his hot cross buns beat her crumpets to take the first-place trophy. She insists to this day that he cheated, using a powdered mix of some kind, and she's never forgiven him.
I'll come with you out to the garden. What a lovely day for a mystery.
Julia, Lady Saltcoats' housekeeper, is here. She and Rutherford, the butler, look after the whole manor.
Oh, dear. Oh, my. How terribly distressing. A murder here, at my very own Marlford. Whatever will Lady Bredwell say? I'll never be able to show my face at Lord Snodgrass's Pansy Fancier's annual luncheon now. Oh, I just can't imagine that anyone here today would be capable of such a dreadful act. Why, just over tea with Lord and Lady Chiswick, I was thinking, what a lovely couple they are. I can't bear to think that one of them may have coldly and cruelly moused poor Gunther to death.
A sudden tragedy. When I stopped in just before 4 p.m. to ask him if he'd join us for tea, he seemed quite robust, if a little rude.
Did you serve the Count tea today, Julia?
No, the Count refused to join us for tea. He suggested I push off. Since I pride myself on my promptness, I simply served tea in the library to Lady Saltcoats and 2 other guests. I make it a point of serving tea each day at 4 p.m. exactly. When I finish pouring for the guests, I joined them for some lovely hot cross buns. The Count continued his writing in the dining room, and Basil and Rutherford were nowhere to be found.
Oh, ready for me now? Don't forget now, I'm that shifty horse racing tycoon, Lord Quick-Quick. Well, I can't say I'm sorry. The man was an absolute monster. We were business partners once in a pot-bellied pig ranch in Madagascar called the Double Cross. The ranch's name should have told me what he was up to. When I left for a weekend in Greece without buyers, he sold the whole herd to a sausage factory, then insisted they'd been stolen. I had no proof that he was lying, so I lost my life savings while he raked in the lolly. You know, Jennifer, I hope you remember I'm in character. The Count's an excellent fellow, really. Smashing tennis partner. Can't imagine him living up to these dreadful yarns. Ahem. As I was saying, we all knew of his aversion to rodents, mice especially. It seems that while travelling in Bavaria, he was once attacked by a horde of the horrid squeaking creatures, and his entire set of luggage was devoured. Ever since then, he's had a terror of them. We've all heard his endless complaints about that bad heart of his. Why, just this morning over breakfast, he announced that his doctor had warned him that one bad scare could knock him stone dead.
This door leads into the library. Let's see what clues wait for us in there. Looks like someone had tea earlier today. That's an old English custom, tea at 4 o'clock.
Hello, Jennifer. I'm up, am I? All right then, here goes. Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say. That Count was a cad and a bounder, without a kind word for anyone. And the way he treated Rutherford after all they'd been through together. Why, they'd known each other for years, fought side by side in the Punjab. Rutherford was there when the Count saved that school full of children by defusing a bomb. The Count got the Victoria Cross, a most prestigious medal for heroism for that act. Hard to believe that a cowardly rotter like the Count deserved that medal. Rumour has it that Rutherford really saved the school, and the Count lied and took the credit. I hate to speak ill of the dead, but that's just the sort of beastly trick the Count would play. Of course, poor Rutherford's life went quite downhill after that. The Count got promotion after promotion, and Rutherford ended up leaving the service to become a butler. The two have hated each other ever since.
Ready for our interview, are we, Miss Jennifer? Let me just see if I can remember my script. It's true I had no love for the Count, but then again, who did? He seems to have made enemies out of everyone he met. When I saw him today in the dining room, he was writing a letter to one of his grandchildren, demanding interest on the loan of £1 last Christmas. A mean-spirited man like that makes enemies from all over. Why, I recall that even the elephants despised him when we fought together in the Punjab.
Where's the Punjab, Rutherford?
Now, the Punjab is the name of a part of India. A long time ago, India was a colony of England, and English soldiers fought and lived there. Now, of course, India is its own independent country. Today, part of the Punjab is in India, and part is in Pakistan, which borders India to the north and west.
I think we've cornered the Count's killer. Pick the clues that you think best point out our suspect. Those are the clues that we needed to crack this case. Now point out the person you suspect of scaring the Count to his doom. You got it! The butler did it! Lady Saltcoats told us we needed to show that our suspect had the motive and opportunity to commit the murder, as well as evidence linking him or her to the crime. It certainly seemed like everyone had a motive to bump off the Count, so we needed to see who had the opportunity. The Count's fall smashed a clock, stopping it at the exact time of the murder, 4:05. Julia told us that she prides herself on her promptness and served tea today at 4 p.m. exactly. She also said that Rutherford, Uncle Basil, and the Count did not have tea. The tea set in the library had enough settings for 4 people. We learned that Lady Saltcoats, Lord and Lady Cheswick, and Julia had tea today. That rules them out. They were too busy munching hot cross buns in the library to have killed the Count at 4:05. That only leaves Uncle Basil and Rutherford with the opportunity to mouse the Count to death. But we had another clue too. The Count left a sign to help pinpoint his murder, the sign of an X or a cross. Uncle Basil had no X's or crosses in his story, but that does tie in with Rutherford's revenge motive. The Count had cheated him out of the Victoria Cross, a very important military medal. That was why Rutherford had the motive and the opportunity to kill the Count. And we found a clue that linked him to the crime, the symbol of the Victoria Cross left by the dying man.